Welcome folks, we have a exciting video for you guys here today. We've got the fastest Intel gaming build to date. We've got the Intel Core i9 10900K processor. This is running at 3.7 gigahertz, but the overclock is up to 5.3. So yeah, fastest single core performance for gaming today. So fastest processor. We've got the fastest motherboard on the market. Also, we've got the MSI Meg Z490. This is the most full feature board. Just pretty much has everything. You have some nice RGB lighting, it's got a 2-inch display for showing things like thermals, etc. It's got Thunderbolt 3, Type C. It's got pretty much everything you could think of in a motherboard. It is expensive. It's like $700+, but it'll be the it'll be paired up nicely with the 10900K, so there's no bottlenecks. We've got for RAM, we've got the Thermaltake 4600, 16 gigabytes. That's TOUGHRAM RGB. It's got the nice RGB lighting built right on the top, so we can have a nice pretty build. We've got the 970 Evo Plus, which is the not necessarily the fastest drive. I do have a 980 Pro on order, which when it comes in, I'll just replace that, make it the primary drive. The issue is that the 980 Pros only have a 1 terabyte version to date. They don't have the 2 terabytes out yet, but yeah, this will become the secondary drive for storage and stuff. But yeah, we'll have a 980 Pro and the 970 Evo Plus. As far as the case we're going to be putting in is the anidees Excel Crystal Excel. This has tempered glass on all 3 sides. It's got USB ports on the top. It's got nice dust filters everywhere. These are magnetic. We'll show that more when we're starting to do the build. And then we've got the GAMEMAX power PSU, the power supply unit. This is 80 plus gold certified, 850 watts, nice RGB lighting on the interior. Hopefully it'll show in the case. If it doesn't, not a big deal, but yeah. We have a bunch of fans. The dark flash fans are actually pretty good. They're, I think, rated up to 17 dB as far as the sound output from them. And last but not least, we have the Masterliquid ML360 mirror from Coolermaster. This is a 3rd gen dual pump with an infinite mirror RGB lighting. So it has a really nice effect on the mirror there with some RGB. These 3 fans I'll replace with some dark flash fans as well. So we have a nice pretty build at the end of the day. As far as the GPU, I have a 1080 Ti that I'm going to put in here temporarily. Obviously, like everybody else, having trouble getting hold of the 3090. I have 2 on pre-order. I've got a 3090 Asus overclocked GPUs on order. Hopefully when they come in, I'll throw that in here as well, but temporarily I'll be putting the 1080 Ti in here. And yeah, so let's get started with the build. I'm excited. Okay, so anybody who hasn't done this before, you'll notice that there's a rounded edge here, and there's a rounded edge on the bottom left-hand side of the processor. So those two should line up. Once it's seated on there nicely, just let's go back down. This little plastic piece will pop off as it comes down, like that, and voila, the processor should be seated in place nicely. And got the Thermaltake memory next. Those are some nice big sims. It's pretty hard to get on top. It's this way. Should pop. For it to be dual channel, only 2 sims. We need to use voila. Memory's installed. So the reason we did it that way is that if you want to take advantage of the dual channel memory, you want to set it up where you have it, this channel on the left, or on your right is channel A, this is channel B, and you want to put it in DIMM slot 2, according to the Motherboard manual. It's got a nice little silver, you guys can see that. It's like a nice little shiny thing going up and down there. Just wanted to show you. It's pretty nice. Alright, next we're adding the back plate. It's the back of the motherboard for the cooling. Stick it out. And the holes. This is the top of the case up here. We want to, as we all know, heat rises, so as the heat rises, we want these fans here to turn a specific way to be able to blow the heat out of the top of the case across the radiator, and also bubbles or air rises inside of water. So inside your water block, you want to make sure that the air doesn't congregate. There's always a little bit of air left in the system, in the water system. So you don't want to get any of that air stuck around, around the pump itself. You want the pump You want the, if anything, the radiator should be the one housing the air. So having the radiator above the pump is a good thing. So heat rising, pushing out the top, and water, I guess the air on the circulating in the line doesn't end up down here in the reservoir where the pump will get eaten and have more, have a shorter life. You'll keep the water down here, and the water and the air will rise up through the lines into the actual radiator. We'll have air coming in from the front. There'll be 4 fans up here, and 1 fan back here that'll be blowing air across everything. So, alright. Okay, had a small setback here. The CPU cables wouldn't reach to the top up here from behind, so I had to order a CPU or PSU to CPU extension cables. So they'll be here in a couple days. In the meantime, I'm just going to have to run things across the top like this. Not optimal, but it'll work until we get the extension kit. We got some Arctic Silver 7 here, thermal paste. We're going to put that on the chip. One thing, there's something called the spread method, and I'm going to use that today, where you spread the paste evenly. That seems to be the best thermals. There's also the X method, where you go across here and across there, and then do the press, and it pretty much spreads. The X method, there was some tests on YouTube. You can go look them up. The X method came out pretty close to what the spread method is. Spread method was the best, so that's what we're going to stick with. I've done the rice method before. It doesn't seem to get quite all the way around the CPU. So yeah, let's get this going and have some fun. Get a little right size piece put on here. It's all about the amount. If you go too much or too little, it's never good. So we'll start off with about that amount. Should be good. We'll give it a good spread, get it even, nice and decently thin. I use a cut off a piece of credit card here to use that for the spreader, and let's start spreading this guy. The idea is just to get it spread evenly across the entire surface of the CPU. Right, once you've got the paste pretty much flattened out nicely across the top without any raised edges, set your credit card piece aside, grab the cooler, take the plastic off the inside. It is important to do that. Nice clean surface, and keep the wires out of the way. After you get this on here, you want to make sure to give it a good press, and then keep constant pressure on each side. Do all 4 corners like a tire, like you put on the rim. contact. We have here the 4 fans mounted up front. They'll be pulling air into the case. We have 3 RGB fans mounted to the radiator. They'll be pulling air up and out. There's an RGB fan mounted on the back. Alright, hooked it up to power, and let's give it a power on and see if see if anything blows up. Here we go. Okay, we've got this thing all put back together. We've got some Acreon extension cables. They are nice little, zoom in a little bit on those. See them? Gray, metal, black look to them. Got some nice little, almost nice wire ties. Keep them nice and clean looking. Yeah, pretty happy with the anidees case. Looks pretty nice so far. Got the nice little logo at the bottom there. Some mounts. Some LEDs. Yeah, it's got a lot of nice room. Very spacious. The only thing is, with the tempered glass, it is a little heavy. Alright, we got this thing buttoned back up and looking all pretty. We got all the glass put on the front and sides, both sides. I took the dust filter off here for now just to show you guys the LEDs and all their glory. The RGB lights, nice little mode there. We've got the anidees case, I have to say, is a very nice looking case. It is extremely heavy with the 4mm tempered glass on there. It does make this thing about 48 to 50 pounds, I'd say. So it is quite heavy, but it's very nice looking. You have a lot of nice room inside the case, which is nice. I'll do a quick little walk around here. So you've got, so you can see some of the reflections as it's turning. Alright, this is with the tempered glass on. We have, you can still see everything pretty much on the motherboard. The 2-inch display is a little dim. The tempered glass is a little dark, but if I zoom in here a little bit, you can still see that the game on, everything's still visible, but it's slightly dim. That's probably because of the tempered glass. Everything else is very visible through the glass, so it looks nice. Very happy with the build, looking sharp. And let's get to some benchmarks. Okay, so we've got the BIOS up. We've set the overclock settings to expert mode. We set the CPU speed to 5.1 gigahertz and set up an XMP profile that matched the Thermaltake memory, the 4600 memory, to 4600 megahertz. So the XMP profile is turned on. So basically just 5.1 gigahertz, 4600 megahertz, and set it at fixed mode for all cores. Ran a CPU benchmark in Cinebench 2.0 of 6526, which is respectable. So looks good. All right, we've got Crystal Disk Mark run against the C drive, which is the 980 Pro 1 terabyte, 3531 and 3385 sequential. Normal for an NVMe. This is not great for the 980 Pro, which could do 7K. I guess we're limited by the speed of the motherboard, the Z490, because it's not really PCIe 4.0 ready yet. So, and that has to do with the processor. So we have to wait for Rocket League, I guess, to get those the big 7K numbers. Okay, ran a benchmark on the D drive. I'm getting about 3576 on the reads, got 3356 on the writes, and maybe slightly faster in some cases than the 980 Pro. slightly odd, but I'm pretty sure we're just limited by the bus speed. Okay, that concludes the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Helps the channel out. I'd appreciate it. And hope you have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.